Yes, praise God, my brethren. Praise God once again. Ah, this evening, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you for the feedback of last time. And I just want to have an opportunity to just have a review, probably slightly for a minute, of the previous video presentation that I was talking about. The previous one was talking mostly on the issue of you as a seed. And we took it from the book of Matthew chapter number 13, from Matthew chapter number 13, from verse 3 to verse 9. And we looked, it is a parable of the sower, but we are looking at it in the context of the seed. So it's the parable of the sower, but we were looking at it in the context of the seed. And we realized one thing that was very powerful, that God does not generate substandard seed, which means you as a human being was created by God and was created with the purpose to be great. So God does not generate weak seed or unfruitful seed, but we looked at it in three, as seed in three processes. Number one, we were looking at seed in the potential, and we realized that God does not generate a low quality seed. And we also looked at it, the seed has to go through a process. And we realized that the process is the most important thing, because the process is one thing that makes the seed become grateful or makes the seed become weak or some things. And we looked at it, the third one, and we looked at it, the fruitfulness, which means the product. So last time we were looking at the seed in the potential form, the seed that the process that the seed goes to, and lastly the production of the seed. So today I just don't want to talk much, but I want us to go to another level, whereby we are going to look at the success of the seed. The success of the seed. So which means we are going to look at the success of the seed in itself. So when we are looking at the success of the seed in itself, we are going to look at success in the seed, in looking at it in that context. So as I'm speaking here, I'm speaking through the banner of DSI. And as we know that DSI is a program, that is on the screen is the logo of DSI. That is, as we talk about it, DSI is just an initial, which means Divine Seekers International. So DSI is a banner of Divine Seekers International. So when we are looking at Divine Seekers International, it is just a program. The vision of DSI is to develop transformational leaders, and we are flowing under the vision was brought about from the book of Matthew chapter number 28, where the Bible says, go unto all the parts of the world and teach. So divine seekers is, divine means is heaven bound, brought from heaven. Seekers means going. International means that is a global platform. So it is Divine Seekers International is a simple word to bring that the vision is from God and the guys are seeking, which means we are going. That is, this is one platform of coming to you, and also then the global, it is a global platform. So that is the initial meaning of DSI, which means Divine Seekers International. I who is speaking, I'm Stephen Oduor. I'm part and parcel of DSI, and DSI is a team of many. And as we have begun, I know that you are going to meet some of them. So today, we are specifically going to speak on the book of Joshua, chapter number 1, verse number 8. Joshua, chapter number 1, verse number 8. I know probably where you are. Let us go through it as you read. The Bible says, I'm picking it from King James, the Bible says very clearly, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. In this context, when we are looking at the book of Joshua, I've highlighted some in red, different colors. This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but thou shalt meditate it day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. I think if we dissect this verse, it begins by this book. Then it goes to depart, which means you shall meditate it, it shall not depart. Then you shall meditate it, which means the book, the source, the number one, the platform, the foundation is the book of the law. Then it comes to you, whereby it should not depart from your mouth. You need to speak it day and night. You need to meditate it day and night. And then you observe to do. You just don't only meditate. You just don't only speak, but you do three things. You speak it, you meditate it, and you do it. Those three things. Number one, speak the word. Number two, meditate the word. Number three, observe and do the word. So those three things are supposed to be done to the book of law. Meditating it, speaking it, and then doing it, which means it should be a three-tier platform for every individual to observe, to speak it, meditate it, and then do it. Then the Bible says, for then, if you speak the word, if you meditate the word, if you do the word, then the Bible says, for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So I want us to begin. We as human beings, last time we were talking about us as the seed. But for us to be successful, we have to speak the word, we have to meditate the word, and we have to do the word. Speak, meditate, and do. Meditation is not just, it is now understanding, thinking, just thinking, imagining the word, and then observing to do it. So it is a three-tier process for every word. We speak it, we meditate it, and then we do it. So when we go to that, the Bible says, then, for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. I like the way the Bible was put. It has given us the first platform, the book of law. Then it goes to how you. It means that it begins by the Bible, it comes to you, then is when success and prosperity comes. So which means you are in the middle between the book and success. You are in the middle. So the book of law, you meditate it, you speak it, you speak it, think of it, meditate it, and then do it. Then, for then, thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Last week we were talking about a seed that is going to bring 100-fold, a seed that is going to be fruitful. That is what the Bible is talking about here as success. So this day I want us to go good success. The Bible says, for then thou shalt be prosperous and have good success. So I want us to look at today of good success, which means the fruitfulness of every seed. The fruitfulness of every seed. So it is good success. That is what we mean by fruitfulness. Fruitfulness is success. So the Bible is talking about good success, which means there is bad success. But the Bible is talking about good success. So as we understood, what is success? What is success? What is success? As you think, what do you understand by success? When we have been looking at the success, the world has tried to prove to us that success is found in one, honor, which means being given high respect, you have been given a great esteem, or success is fame, being known or talked about by many people, or success is power, social authority or control, or success is popularity, being liked, admired, or supported by many, or success is pleasure, having a feeling of happy satisfaction or enjoyment, or success is wealth, having a great deal of money or resources or an asset. When we pick this definition or these adjectives that are describing success, do you think this is what God was telling Joshua? That you are going to have honor, or you are going to have fame, or you are going to have power, or you are going to have popularity? Are you going to have pleasure? Are you going to have wealth? Do you think this was the definition that God was talking to Joshua about? In the book of Joshua chapter number 1 verse 8, is God talking about high respect or great esteem? Is God talking about fame in the context of being known or talked about by many? No. God was talking to Joshua and is talking to us that success is different from what the world is giving us. Because when the world is giving us all this, these are the ones that are going to create greed and lust. Because when you look at lust, you lust for fame, you lust for power, you lust for popularity, you lust for pleasure, you lust for wealth, or you lust for honor. So these are things that are creating a lot of problems, whereby these have created what we call a lot of lust and greed. We are greedy to become great. We are greedy. When you go to Facebook or Instagram, people are doing wicked things so that people may like them by many, so that they are lusting or greedy for fame, for honor, for power, for popularity, for pleasure, for wealth. But this is not what God was describing to Joshua in the book of Joshua, chapter number 1, verse number 8. And I always look at people have been talking about success in the context, because success necessarily is not a place. Somebody, and he's called Max Jagannathan. He is an RZIM member, was talking concerning success. And he was saying that success is an abstract noun, which means it is abstracting. It is not a thing per se, but it is a continuity. It is something that we are moving towards. It is not a place. Because like right now, when Marx was trying to define, he was saying that nowadays people want us to, you want to get married, you get married to the right person. You've gone to the right school, you've gone to the right academy, right primary school, right secondary school, you've done the right, you're moving to right, which means you are successful, because that is how the world has been defining success to us. But the Bible is different, because when we are looking at success, we are looking at it in an orderly advancement. The Bible is talking to Joshua that success to Joshua is an orderly and advancement towards a goal. An orderly advancement, which means there is a movement. You are going towards somewhere. You are moving towards where you are supposed to go. So an orderly advancement towards a goal. That is called success. Orderly. Orderly, which means systematically. You are systematically moving towards a goal. And when we are trying to look at this in context where God was talking to Joshua, he was telling Joshua that Joshua, after this, if you meditate this, you are going to be prosperous and have good success, which means you are going to be deliberately, orderly, advancing towards the necessary goal, which means the right place. So when we are talking about good success, is orderly advancement towards a good goal. So Max Jagannathan also said it is an intrinsic yearning for the human heart, which means it is inborn. Every human being was born to be great. So intrinsically, we are yearning to become great. We are yearning to become great, which means we are following through internally, we are yearning to become great. But for us to have good greatness, it means that we have to yearn to become great, depending on our Creator. So when we look at this, I just want you to look at yourself. And also somebody said it is a favorable or desired outcome, which means favorable, which means it's a good. So when we are talking about success here, we are talking about an orderly advancement towards a goal. Orderly, a systematic movement towards a goal. So Miles Monroe said something. Purpose is when you know and understand what you were born to accomplish. That is purpose. But vision is when you see it in your mind and begin to imagine it. So when we are talking about this, I want us to get something. There is a book that was written by Reverend Elias Ndeda wrote a book so many years ago. That was in 1990s. And I read this book and it was saying, success without a successor in a succession is failure in disguise. Success without a successor in a succession is failure in disguise. Which means in every success there must be a successor. And also there must be a predecessor. There must be somebody who is living. And this is something that we have to look at. When we are looking at it in the context of Joshua, Joshua was the successor of Moses. And Moses was a person who was presented by God to settle Israelites in the land of Canaan. But success to Joshua was to settle the children of Israel in the land of Canaan, as God has planned for Moses, and also God had given him the mandate. So purpose is when you know and understand what you are born to accomplish. That is purpose, which means you have known that you have understood your potential. But vision is when you see it in your mind and begin to imagine it. So that is Dr. Miles Monroe. And when I'm reverting back to the statement by Reverend Elias Ndeda, he said also something about success. He mentioned that success is not comparing what I have done with what others have done. No. Success is comparing what I have done with what I should have done. Which means success is not competitive, but success is relative. So when we are looking at success in the competitive aspect, which means we are not doing good success, because I was designed by God, Stephen, to accomplish a purpose that is different from yours. So I am not supposed to be competing with you, but I am supposed to be relative, completing you, which means God put us together that whatever you cannot do, I can do, which means that is success is relative, not competitive. We have been living in churches, we have been going to churches where pastors are competing. Pastor is trying to do what another one is doing. No, success is relative, which means each and every person was designed differently, was purposed differently, and was given a role that is different. You have your own vision, I have my own vision. You have your own purpose, I have my own purpose. I know sometimes my purpose can be fulfilling your purpose, or my purpose is supposed to be either adding value to your purpose, and your purpose should be adding value to my purpose. But if we compete, we are not going to add value to each other. So success is relative, not competitive. So I would like to advise you this evening that please, success is relative, not competitive. As we have gone with the statement of Reverend Elias Ndeda, who said success is not measuring what I have done with what you have done, but measuring what I have done with what I should have done. Today I should have done a lot of things, but I did less. That is success. I compare, I evaluate myself and check what I have done. What have I done depending on what I should have done. That is success. So if I measure what I have done, if I was supposed to have done 10 things, but today I've done 6, I have done 60%, which means I'm not measuring what I have done with what you should have done. Probably you should have done 5, but I have done 6. So when I think I have done great, but I was supposed to do 10. So when I compare myself with yours, I have failed completely because I should have done 10, but I have done 6. But you should have done 4, but you have done 3, which means you are better than me. So I want us to understand, please, success is not measuring what you have done with what others have done. It is not competitive, it is relative, which means it is you and you alone, measuring what you have done with what you should have done. And as we read the statement of Dr. Miles Munro here, it says, purpose is when you know and understand what you are born to accomplish. Vision is when you see it in your mind and begin to imagine it. It was by the late Dr. Miles Munro. So as we go to the next, I want us to look at success also has some principles. We talked about an orderly advancement towards a goal, an orderly, a systematic. So success has principle. A principle is a fundamental truth that serves as the foundation of a system. So for us to have success, we must have foundation. There must be a fundamental principle. There must be a fundamental truth that serves as the foundation for the system. For us to have good success, the foundation, there must be a fundamental truth that we must follow. I am going to pick a few. That is principle of success. I have picked a few. Number 1, I picked vision, and number 2, love, and number 3, discipline. So these are mine. I know there are many, but I would like us to speak about only these 3, which means I want us today to talk about this, the first one, that is the vision, as we are going to talk about love later. But I want us today to talk about the vision as the principle of success. This term vision as the principle of success. Vision is number 1. This vision is a principle for success. For you to succeed, there must be a vision. The Bible says in the book that we have read, the book of Joshua chapter 1, verse number 8. This verse number 8, after God had told Joshua that I called Moses to make these children of Israel to reach Canaan. So the vision here for Joshua was to settle the children of Israel in the land of Canaan. To cross, they had already crossed the Red Sea. Now they were remaining with River Jordan. So to go and cross River Jordan, possess the land of Canaan, and then settle the 12 tribes of Israel in the land of Canaan, as God had already assigned. So which means with Joshua, already he had a vision. He had a vision. He had something to do. So which means when we are looking at the vision of Joshua, Joshua already had a vision. So when today, I want us to look at it. 2 is love that we are going to talk about. And then the 3rd one is discipline that we are going to discuss. But today, what is a vision? Dear friends, what is a vision? If you are, I know that sometimes you have time and meditating. What is a vision to you? What is a vision? What is a vision to you? If you look at it, what is a vision? Because that is a more important thing that I think we need to look at. As we are looking at it, I want us to take this time and look at it. Read the book of Habakkuk chapter number 2, verse 2 to 3. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, and at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. The Bible says in the book of Habakkuk, And I have written, write the vision down and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come to pass. When we are looking at this, God is speaking to Habakkuk here. He's saying, write it down. Although, because writing down, which means you have not reached it. Write it down and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth, which means the vision is the captured expected end. It is expected end written in tables, and people are reading it and running with it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, and at the end it shall speak and not lie. So when we are looking, I've gone to many churches. This is a problem with many churches. Because when you go to the website of any organization, I go to bank, I go to bank, that is Cooperative Bank, our vision. You go to Safaricom, their vision. You go to Equity, there is a vision. Everywhere you go, you find that they have written the vision down. But most of the churches, I don't know whether they are reading this or they don't. Because when you go to a church, probably they put a verse, Genesis 1:26. Is that a verse or a vision? Because the Bible is saying, write it down. When you go to some churches, you fail to find even a vision written. Because the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. Plain means, which means let people understand it. And the Bible says, he may run that readeth it. Somebody is going to run with the vision after reading it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. A vision must be written down, because when you've captured a vision today, you must write it down so that the people are going to run with it must read it. I've seen this have been a problem with many churches, and think that is why a lot of churches are not growing, because there are churches when you go, you don't even see any vision that has been written down. They just write a verse, Daniel 1:6, Revelation 2:4. So you don't know what is that. But one thing, when you rewrite the vision down, people are going to run with it. A lot of great churches, they write it down, so that there are some pastors that they think if they have written the vision down, it will be, there are people who are going to steal the vision. The vision cannot be stolen. Just write it down so that the people may run with it. The Bible is talking about a vision here. Write the vision down and make it plain. Write it down, make it plain. So, and for the vision is yet for an appointed time. There's a time that is going to come. So write it down. When we go to another verse, that is in the book of Genesis chapter 13, verse 14 and 15. The Bible says, and the Lord said unto Abraham, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward, southward, eastward, and westward. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. Which means you must capture something before God gives you. So vision is seeing what you're supposed to get. So God is talking to Abraham here. He's saying, for lift up your eyes and see. Dr. Miles Munro said that sometimes eyes are for sight, but vision is for the mind, which means you can see with your eyes and then, or you can visualize it. So the Bible is talking about lift your eyes. Lift now your eyes, which means you have to imagine. Then verse number 15, it says, for all the land which thou seest, whatever you have to, you must see what you have to get. Somebody said that whatever is in your hand today was in your head yesterday. Whatever is in your hand today was in your head yesterday, which means it must have crossed your mind. Whatever you want tomorrow must be in your mind today. So God is telling Abraham, you must see it for me to give it, or for your children to possess it. So first of all, a vision will help you to capture the next. The next verse is in the book of Genesis, chapter number 11, verse number 4 to 6. I want you to be very keen here. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower. This is a vision. They have captured a vision first before they start building. And now they are describing it. Whose top may reach into heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. First of all, they began, go to, let us build a city. They are not building, but they have captured a vision. Let us build a city and a tower. That is a vision. And they described whose top may reach in the heaven. Verse number 5, he says, and the Lord came down to see the vision and the tower, the city and the tower, which means God came to see the vision of these guys, which they built. Verse 15, verse number 14, they are visualizing. Verse number 15, they had already built. God is coming. Verse number 5, God is coming to see it. Verse number 6, I want you to listen to this, because this is the most powerful statement God ever made concerning the vision. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one. They have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Please, whatever every human being has visualized, let me not lie to you. God has said, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which means nobody can restrain a person with a vision. You cannot, because the vision is very powerful, that nobody can restrain you as long as you have imagined to do it. You have grasped the vision. You have internalized the vision. You have meditated upon the vision. You have talked with yourself about the vision. Nobody can restrain you. God said, even God said, and now nothing will restrain them, will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do, which means whatever they have visualized, nobody can restrain it from them. So this evening, we have read 3 passages of the Bible. We have read Habakkuk. We have read Genesis chapter 13. We have read Genesis chapter 11. And as we go to the next, I want us to look, what is a vision? A vision is a clear definition of life's destination. That was talked about by Pastor Paul Enenche. He said a vision is a clear definition of life's destination. A clear definition of life's destination. It is defining your life and defining your destiny. That is a vision. A clear picture of an expected future. Oh, I love that. A clear picture of an expected future. It is a direction of life's motion, where you are moving towards. That is vision. So, some statements, sight is the function of the eyes, but vision is the function of the heart. That was the late Dr. Miles Monroe. Clear definition of destination is the critical requirement of every journey. If you don't know where you are going, you may not like where you will end. Please, this is a very clear statement. If you don't know where you are going, you may not like where you are going to end. If you go to, for example, somebody comes to Nairobi, or you go to a city and you want to go to travel to a suburb, the first thing you have to know is where am I going to pick, or where am I going? Where am I traveling from, and where am I traveling to? You must know. Like, for example, like sometimes we book some flight to somebody. When you are booking a flight, the first thing you have to know is you have to tell where you are going and where you are coming from. Where are you going to board that flight? And where is the flight going to land? Which means you must know the destination first for you to start the journey. Because you cannot just go to a plane. And that is, I love the people who are handling the plane, because they must ask you, where are you going to alight to? First of all, it's going to help them to calculate the amount. Second, they must know that that is your destination, because they cannot pick you from here, then drop you somewhere. Then tomorrow you're going to claim, you did not take me to the right place. No, you must book. So if you don't know where you are going, you may not like where you're going to end. You may not like. So sight is a function of the eyes, but vision is a function of the heart. And that is when we are talking about success. In the context of vision, please, you are not going to be successful if you don't know what you are supposed to do. You are not going to be successful. You are not going to be fruitful if you don't know what you are going to be fruitful about. So this evening, I want you to understand, please, a vision is a clear definition of life's destination. Definition, you have to define your definition. Destination, you have to define where you are going to. You have to know where you are going to. You have to know your expected future. A clear picture of an expected future. It is the direction of life's motion. Please, this evening, as you are listening to me, please, I want you to know that you must know your destination. You must know your destination. So this evening, please, I want to please encourage you. You must know your destination. Know your destination, please, because it is important, very much important. So when we go to the next, I want you to look at it. Vision always affects our lives in three ways, because I don't want to take a lot of time. Vision always affects our lives in three ways. And that is very much important that we need to also to understand, because vision is very dangerous. Vision is very, very dangerous, because it always dictates our way in three different ways. So when you are looking at it, you look at it that vision number one, vision displays our potential. Vision will tell you what you can do. Vision. If you have a vision, you'll know what you can do. You'll know. Number two, vision dictates our lives. Number three, vision demands our outcome. So if you are supposed to go to United States of America, in New York, that is your vision. It must demand that you must be in New York. It must dictate the flight you're going to take. It must dictate that you have to go. So vision, first of all, displays. If your vision tells you you are supposed to go to New York, coming from anywhere around the world, it tells you that you have the capacity to go there. I told you that vision comes from God. It means vision is the display of our potential, which means when God tells you that you're going to preach to the whole world, you will. If God says you're going to bring 100-fold, you have the potential. It displays to you your potential. So I want to tell you that vision number one, it displays your potential. Number two, it dictates our lives, which means vision will tell you what to eat, what not to eat, who to marry, who not to marry, probably, if you are not married. Vision will tell you what are you supposed to learn, because it has to dictate. Vision is a very, we talked about dictators. Vision is a dangerous dictator, because vision, when it dictates your life, it creates process. When you want to cook ugali, there is a process, which means for you to come up with ugali, for you to come up with ugali, it must dictate the process. So which means it has to dictate that. So it demands vision. If it is ugali, it demands that ugali, you have to bring it out, because that is what it dictates. So when we go Vision also, when we look at it, vision also in the clear context as we are going to look at it. Vision, as we look at it, I want us to look at it in this. Number one, vision displays our potential by, and I've mentioned to you, when God tells you you can do something, when God tells you to do something, He knows you are capable of doing it. We always know our potential by using the same acronym. So I want us to get it from this. We always use the acronym SHAPE, which means SHAPE. S stands for spiritual gift. God has always given each and everyone the spiritual gift. I know they are going to have a session of learning what is your spiritual gift and how can you know if you don't know. Number two is H, heart. What do I love to do most? Or what do I hate so much? Because in heart, it comes with what you love and what you hate. Because there are people, when they go to church, it becomes a problem to them the way arrangement has been done. It's not that they are but it's that there is an inborn thing. There is an internal thing that tells them the arrangement is bad, which means they know how it should be arranged well. They come to a place and they see things not good, which means they know how something should be good. So when we are looking at this, which means spiritual gift, number one, there is a heart, there is ability, talents, and skills, which the natural talents, or you've gone to school, you've done accounting, you've done something, which that is also an ability that God would use. So we go to personalities. We have characteristics of or qualities of a person. We have also the two major ones is there a person who is an introverted person, there is an extroverted person. A person who is outgoing, extrovert. Introvert is a person who is more of himself. We have them sanguines, we have cholerics, we have phlegmatics, so we have these personalities that we are going to look at in a few times to come. Personalities, how does God use personalities? How do they tell you what you can do? Because we have experiences. You have gone through an experience. You've gone through some challenges. You are probably, because I've looked at lives of people. There are people who are abused. There are people who are molested. There are people who are raped. There are people who have gotten HIV. There are people who have been imprisoned. And these are the people who become the best crusaders. Because somebody who was imprisoned for nothing, when he comes out, is the person who is going to, when the prisoners listen to this person, they hear that this person was imprisoned for nothing. Then they sit down. We want to hear what this person is saying, because this person is one of us. He has gone. He understands our situation. That is why the Bible says that Jesus is our high priest, who has gone through the same process that we are going through. He has lived in this, so he understands. When we hear that this person is one of us, we are ready to listen to him. When you speak somewhere, you know that when he says that somebody, the speaker or the MC says that I studied accounting, the people who have done accounts are going to start listening to him because he's one of us. He's gone. So one thing, experiences also makes people become, because through your testimony, it makes somebody listens to you. So when the potential, we always use the word shape, which means you look at your spiritual gift that you have. We have probably some people have talked about 21, some talks about 20, some talked about 17, some talked about 25. So we have, but I prefer there's a book by Dr. Larry Gilbert. He has written a book talking about your gift. This is going to explain to you much about your gift. Look at Smith Wigglesworth has written a very good book. So all these are going to help you understand your spiritual gift. Or go and read the book of 1 Corinthians chapter number 12, the whole of it, the book of Romans chapter number 12, the book of Ephesians chapter number 4. It talks about the fivefold ministry, that is the apostle, teacher, evangelist, pastor, and also prophet. He has trying to outline them. Romans chapter number 12 has talked about it. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, as Paul has outlined all that to the Corinthians. So go and look and go and check, because we are going to talk about it later, as we can help you to understand how you can get your gift and start working on. Hearts, what do you love? There are people who have become pissed off because of one issue, not because they are against the person, no, but just because there is something in them that is, their heart is telling something is wrong here, which means, like, I hate ignorance. There are people who are very much ignorant, and that makes me know that you need to understand something. So it tells you, when you hate something, it tells you that you have the internal capacity to help that person solve, which means your heart will tell you the abilities, the skills that you have learned, the talents. There are people who have been blessing others with music, just a talent. So we have gifts, we have abilities, we have your heart, we have personalities. So we have also experience. All this will help you to understand what potential you have. So vision will help you to understand what you have. Vision, if God has told you that you are going to teach many, you are going to talk to many, which means it's going to help you to understand the potential that you have. When we go to another one, is vision will dictate our lives. It dictates, number one, it dictates your relationship. I like the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1. Psalms has 150 chapters. But chapter 1, verse number 1, opened with the relationship statement. Blessed is the man that does not. Blessed is the man that does not walk. Does not walk. Relationship. Does not walk with, does not stand with, does not sit with. Those are adverbs. Does not walk in, does not stand with, does not sit on. Which means walk with is an adverb. That means the congregation, the relationship that you have. Stand with, which means when you are walking, it means that there is an agreement that you have made. When you are standing with, means there is a consultation somewhere. When you are sitting with, in fact, you have gotten into a contract with. So that is, the Bible is talking about relationship. Psalms chapter 1, verse number 1 is talking about walking with, which means there is an agreement for movement. There is a motion. Standing with, there is a consultations with. Sitting with, there is a contract that has come up, which means the Bible is talking about this relationship. Who have you contracted? Where are you? Who are you walking with? So Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. The Bible says, he who walks with the wise shall be wise, but he who is in the companion of fools shall be destroyed. Which means relationship is very much important. So vision wants you to have a spouse. I like Reverend Sam Ademi of in Nigeria. He was talking about, if you collect 5 good people, you begin with your spouse. If you are married, you begin with your spouse, number 1, and then get the next 4, the best friends that are influencing your life. Look, ask yourself, how is my spouse helping me towards the vision? How are these friends helping me to reach the vision? And if you have 5 people, you begin with your spouse. I'm telling you, you are going to know where you are going to reach, because vision dictates our lives. I want to give you an example. Jesus, after being baptized, before being baptized, the first thing he said, he looked at the people, he told, follow me and I will make you. He picked the first 12, then he increased his crowd with 72, and all these were the people who were helping his vision. There were Pharisees, there were Sanhedrin, there were scribes, there were Sadducees, but he picked people. He told them, follow me and I will make you. Follow me and I will make you. That statement is a very powerful statement, because you must look for a person that when he follows you, although you are going to make him, but at the same time is going to make you, because it's going to support your vision. So when Jesus called his disciples, he said, follow me and I will make you. So making you is towards the vision that is having. The kingdom, which means you are going to spread the gospel. And when you look at that, all the people who followed him, he made them towards his vision. And they became, and he gave them a statement in the book of Matthew chapter 28. He says, go you. Go you. That was the vision. So every person that is beside you, your spouse, your mentors, please, a mentor is a picture of your future. Don't pick a mentor that is not going to help you in your future. So a mentor is a picture of your future. So please, your mentors are people who are supposed to help you become your spiritual authority. Nowadays, you have spiritual father, spiritual mother, every spiritual authority should help you to reach the destination where God has called you. They should, nowadays, I've been seeing a lot of spiritual authority. They want to clone you to who they are. No. If you are listening to me and you are my viewer, please, I want you, if you are a pastor, a spiritual father, please don't clone people to become like you. No. Make them become the best of themselves. What God had, because they have a calling with themselves. They have a vision of themselves. But you as an authority is to mold them to become the better way. The better them, not the better you. No. So one thing also, friends, please, I want you to take a paper and a pen. Write the 5 most influential friends in your life. And as you've written them, I want you to write your vision. Friend number 1, how is this person helping me? How is this person helping me towards my vision? If he's not, please cancel. Let that person be your mentee. Mentor him or help him, but let him not be influential in your life. Do list 5 of them. Begin with number 1. Number 1, how is this person helping me? Number 2, how is this person developing me? Number 3, let your paper speak to you. Let this list speak to you and understand that how is this person influencing me? How is this person developing me towards my goal? So that you may know that these people are going to help you or not. Number 2, it dictates the types and the knowledge to acquire. Please, if you are reading books, read books that are building you. If you are studying, go to a study that is going to help you. I have known some young people. Once went to university for 4 years to study. He went, did a very good study, studied computer science. And I thought maybe because I like computer science, I've gotten a friend. But after 4 years, graduated very well. After 4 years, the problem is this person cannot even touch a computer, cannot even open a computer. 4 years with all that money. Then is when later this person comes back and tell me, now I want to go and do a course that I want. So this is also happening in our lives because you are reading books that are not going to help you. You are reading books that are not going to help you in one way or the other. Please read books that are developing you, that are moving you towards your goal, that are developing you to be better when you reach or when you are accomplishing your goal. Videos, watch things that are going to help you. Watch videos that are developing you. I read a book so many years ago. Somebody wrote a book and he said that nowadays we are having a lot of series. And he was saying that when this video is called VDs, Vampire Diaries, it is a series. A lot of young people watch because it was a series, a very long series. And a lot of young people used to watch it, Vampire Diaries. And it reached a point where a lot of the generation started dreaming dreams, having visions that are not good. They started misbehaving because they became like demon possessed. Now, because the Vampire Diaries, they want even to become vampires. They've moved to another. It is not good. Watch videos that are helping you. Don't watch entertainment mostly. Please watch educative. Things that are educating you. Things that are developing you. Things that are helping you to grow. Another thing is seminars. Please don't go to every seminar because you want. This is free, let us go. Please go to seminars that you know are going to build you. Go to classes, read something, go to classes, study something that you know is going to build you. Because this is, and that is why I'm telling you, vision will dictate your life. It will dictate. It will dictate your life. So a very dangerous dictator, because it tells you what to read. It tells you what to buy. It tells you how to live. Reverend Elias Neda said, dress the way you want to be addressed. He said, show me your friends and I'll show you your destiny. Which means just tell me the people you're working with. Warren Buffett said that if you are working with 5 rich people and you are poor, you're going to be the 6th rich person. If you are rich, you are working with 5 poor people and you are the 6th, you are going to be the 6th poor person. Which means the friends, the relationship are going to determine how you are going to become. If you are not a thief and you're working with thieves, we are expecting you to steal for you to stay in the crowd. So your friends are very much important. So please check yourself. See yourself. Vision number 3 demands the outcome. It demands the outcome. When I mean demand, it means that vision has to demand, because we said in the beginning, it is a clear definition of your destination. So vision, when you know that you have to reach New York, you must go to New York.